Look at that, guys. Hispy or pointed cabbage. Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I planted 9 in. I've just given 3 of them away to some of the other allotmenteers. But I've just been taking these off as well. Took a couple of them that were left. So what I've done is I've taken the hispy out from this side because I needed the space for these 7 roundhead cabbages that are going in, these babies. But these have been in the polytunnel and they've been in too long. So because I added, when I grew the wonderful crops that are in here, I added a lot of chicken manure mixed in thoroughly to the mix, and that's all I did. Look at him. Right. Or her. Let me shut this door. Keep them out. We don't want them getting in. When I was doing the harvesting, I did see a couple of caterpillars in with the slugs, and I've cleared it all away. I've cleared all the lower leaf away so that the upper leaf can carry on and continue on the monstrous kale. This is curly kale and it's about 3.5 feet high, and the leaf is in cracking condition. Fingers crossed it'll stay that way. And I've actually taken a full plant out there because we've got so much of it. I've taken a full plant out from that corner and given it to the lady that's across the way there. I'm babbling on now, aren't I? But I've been leaving the broccoli in because you get these little offshoots, which is like stem broccoli, that come off from where the main one was cut out. I've cut out 2 of the main broccoli heads, and you do tend to get these side shoots coming off, like these ones here. That was the first one I took, and that one's actually going to flower, that one now, if you look. So we're checking those as well and adding them in. We leave the broccoli plant in as well because, as I say, the side shoots come, but also this leaf, which is in lovely condition still, is all edible. So we can make the soups out of that, or we can make stir fries out of that, or we can add it into stews and casseroles and things like that for a bit of extra nutrition in there. So you don't let it go to waste, because once you take the plants out, that's it, the plant is dead. Leave it in the ground and that'll get another 2 or 3 weeks out of it. We will be picking and harvesting the leaf off it. Same with the kale. I mean, that kale, because we've got still 6 plants I believe left in there, that kale should continue on for another month or 2 if I keep picking them off from the lower leaf. When I come down, picking the lower leaf off and letting the upper grow on, I could even take those 3 at the front out and leave the 3 at the back to carry on once they're deceased, and we can continually harvest it, yeah, right up until mid-autumn, late autumn. It actually gets sweeter the older it gets, and it will continue hopefully to grow on through the central bit and produce more leaf, and we're taking away the lower leaf. The lower leaf goes first, you see, it goes yellowed off and things like that. So before it goes yellow, if you take it away from the bottom and keep it clean, you should be alright. In fact, I might have to remove some of these stems that are left on. You just snap them off like that and keep the plant going, keep it growing on, because it will. You just keep taking the bottom leaves off. I mean, the tenderest part's at the top, but for continuity, if you take that bit out, that's the growing point. So the plant won't carry on growing up the stem. If you take that middle bit out, they'll carry on growing till they're about that high, till they're about 4.5 feet high, hopefully. I might add a little bit more, just sprinkle the chicken manure pellets around the base, and so that can wash in and continually feed the plants as they carry on. But then, yeah, the roundhead cabbage is going to be coming on through. I may even get some peas or beans once these do come out. I might even get some peas, late peas, and plant them into here and have a trellis going up, because I want to get full use out of this cage, guys, if I can. because I think it's a cracker. In fact, it's been proven this year definitely to be a cracker thus far. But yeah, I'm going to keep them cabbage whites out. There were some slugs in there, not too many, but there were, and they've been evicted all around there. What happens is the old leaf, if I can see any old leaf that yellows off, I think I might have cleared it all out. I've cleared the majority of it out, but the old leaf, which is at the base of the plant, falls off, and that's what the slugs go for first. They go for the manky leaves at the bottom. So if you can keep on top of that and keep them as clear as you can, then you're not going to be subjected to as much slug action. That's one way of controlling it. They tend to go for the older, mankier leaves around the base, but if you clear those away, it makes it more difficult for them, and you know, they don't tend to go as much for the healthy leaf. And the healthy leaves on these plants are plentiful, aren't they? Look at them. It's all in good nick, that leaf still. Yeah? Let's turn you in. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that, guys. I have had a clear out, obviously. If you remember yesterday, or the day before, whenever it was, when I showed you it here, you couldn't actually walk down that path because there were leaves either side. So you couldn't actually walk down that path without breaking the leaves. So I've just cleared them away from the sides there, so you can get access properly. I've done a bit of weeding while I've been in there, a bit of weeding and clearing, as far as I can anyway. There's horses' tails there at the back, mare's tails or horses' tails or whatever you want to call them, at the back there. So I've reached in and cleared as much as I can. You can only do so much, guys, you know what I mean, in one sitting. But yeah, all that kale there, you can get a feed out of, if you pick judiciously, you can pick about one leaf off each one of those, and there's your additive to your stir fry, or whatever you're making, soups and things like that. You can add them in, same with these leaves, one or two of these, because they're a good size, these. A lot of them at the top. Like I say, I pulled a load of it off. But yeah, keep them in. You get the side shoots, you can keep the leaf going and continuously feed yourself. We've got too much of it. All in this area, which is, I believe, 12 feet by 6 feet, with probably around about 10 feet taken out of it. You can keep yourself in healthy leafy greens for a considerable period of time, like 3 or 4 months, if you do it that way. Right. And as I say, we're still getting some big broccoli coming off. Camera works rubbish, isn't it? Big broccoli. But you've got to avoid these buggers. He's just disappeared now, cabbage white. They are plentiful today. I've got to get that weeded. That's broccoli as well inside there. But it's incredibly overgrown with weed, that. So I've got to get that done. In fact, I might do that next. That cauliflower, I've only managed to rescue one of them. All the rest have been slug bit and blown. But I have rescued one of them from in there. There it is. There's a cabbage white. Look at that little shit. White wings with the green dots on. Green spots. 2 green spots. If he'll settle down. Or she'll settle down. But they'll lay their eggs then onto the leaf. And the larvae hatch, which is the caterpillar. And they start to chomp. Well, that's the beauty about a cage like this. I did find about 4 or 5 little green caterpillars in there. So it's got, one of them's got in at some stage. And they'll get where Heineken can't, these. But yeah, got some cabbage there to take, as I've just been saying. Got to weed that and do some clearing. These broad beans are past the best. So I'm going to harvest all of these today and take them home and see what we've got. A lot to do. I've taken out the onions obviously yesterday, and they're curing up in the top tunnel. And there's the elf beans ready to go in. They'll be going in this week. I might not do it today, I don't think I've got time today. And the shallots. See if we've got any more courgettes. Yeah, we have. Turn your back on these and they become marrows, Luke. Those are courgettes. Right, looking at that one at the back there. Yeah. You have to turn your back for 2 minutes and they're aware. Yeah. The beets are coming on. The beets are probably ready for taking now. As baby beets. Baby beetroots. And they've only been in about 4 weeks. There we go. Great, isn't it? New potatoes in there. Main croppers up at the top there. They'll not be ready yet. Another few weeks. Same with these. When the flowers drop off and they start to sort of die back, that's when we'll be starting to dig them up. But we've loads of spuds. We've got loads over that side as well. What we'll probably be doing is, because you wouldn't believe this, guys, but it's a lot of work. It takes up a lot of time doing an allotment. We've got a good size. This is one allotment plot, this side, with the tiki tunnel at the front, with the tiki hut at the front. And this was the original one. And then we got the one next door. What we might do, what I might do, because a lady farmer can't get down, and it's too much for me, is I am debating with the idea of this year giving this plot up, this one. There was a time not long ago, guys, when I was working like a troll, where I was considering giving up both of the plots. I must admit, because I couldn't get down, and I couldn't, as you can see, I can't keep on top of it. I can't keep on top of all the weeding. It's too much. When you're working full time and long hours full time, and you've got a young family, it's too difficult, to be honest. It's there's not enough hours in the day to do everything that you need to do. I said all that without looking at you, didn't I? It's not that I'm ashamed of it. I wish I could do it, but I can't do it. So what we're going to be doing is giving up this plot, giving up plot 37, and concentrating on 36, which is the original plot. Somebody's going to get a good plot. They'll have to put the work in, but somebody's going to get a nice plot here on this side. That's a good tunnel. I'm leaving that, the greenhouse. Yeah. They're just going to get what they get. And I hope it's somebody who's a good one and keen. But yeah, each plot takes about 12 hours a week, to be honest. If you wanted to keep totally on top of them, they take about 12 hours a week for ones this size, because they're good size plots. So I'm thinking concentrate on this one, the original. Make it so as it's not as weedy down the paths by putting paving slabs all over, reconfigure it so as it's more ergonomic. These are a brilliant idea, these, like Mick's got next door. So I'm thinking that these cages, the cages, are going to be taking up probably about half the plot, and then the other half will be open planted for the spuds and the fruits and the beetroots and things like that can be open planted. We'll have it all compartmentalised and get a conveyor belt system going. As things come out, things are ready to be planted back in. I'm gonna do that. I am gonna do that. But 2 plots is too much, unless you're retired. You know what I mean? If you're retired, it's not too much. If you've got nothing else to do. So yeah, that's me. That's gonna be me. Mick's always on next door. Whenever he gets a spare moment, because he's got 2, same as me. Whenever he's off, he's on, if you like, on here. Right. Anyway, I better get off because I'm talking to myself, aren't I? But take care of yourselves and each other. Remember, we love you all. And keep growing at your edge then, but don't take on too much, like I have. See you after. Bye-bye. Have a good one. I'll leave you with that cabbage white. Lovely, aren't they? Alright, see you guys. Ta-da.